Hey folks, new quotes. Let's just dive right into this thing. That was a Nintendo Direct, am I right? I mean, was that not the best 50 minutes you've ever spent in your life? Actually, it wasn't that great, especially for a lot of other Nintendo fans, not including myself. I found a lot of really exciting info there. I just don't feel like everyone was satisfied by the news when looking at comments on the internet and getting texts from friends. Today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Direct. It is February 17th of 2021. This is the first Nintendo Direct we've gotten since September of 2019. And for those of you that don't know, a Nintendo Direct is used to kind of house everything that Nintendo's kind of been cooking up and working on for us. And they kind of display it all in a showcase that features gameplay, screenshots, things of the sort. That being said, this one was a whopping 50 minutes long, which is longer than any in recent memory, actually. Anywho, without spoiling too much or getting into too much speculation, let's just jump right in. So the first thing that was announced pretty much right off the bat, we see a little scene of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, potentially suggesting something new coming from them, and then we get hit with the Smash logo. With two new characters, or one new character I should say, playing two parts, that will be appearing in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. They're going to be Pyrrha and Mithra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I may have just butchered those names. Sorry. Now, I personally was not very excited to hear that these two characters were coming to the game, but I have a lot of friends who are JRPG fans who are probably going to be absolutely thrilled that they're coming to the game. Plus, it's been a while since we've seen a switchable character, someone that can just switch in the midst of battle, kind of like how Zelda and Sheik used to be before they sliced them in half. It was Pokemon Trainer. So that was the big first announcement, and then from there, my mind kind of goes in all different directions. I'll just be speaking about what I thought was personally exciting. There were a lot of third-party crossovers coming to the Switch. I can't possibly name every single one of them here, because not necessarily every one of them sounded super exciting. That being said, I will try to list a few where I can, what I remember. So one of the things that stood out to me most, without going straight to the mainline events, was a Mario Animal Crossing crossover. I have a ton of friends who are very, very into Animal Crossing who are thrilled by this news. With it being the Mario anniversary, makes sense, it's the perfect crossover, and let's just be honest, that looks adorable. A game called Neon White was announced and teased, gameplay was shown. Looks like a really fast-paced action game, very akin to Mirror's Edge, which is playable on Sony consoles. And sort of a free-running parkour beat-em-up. A lot more action-packed, it looks like. Nothing really truly gripping, but it did look like a really fast-paced game. Definitely some exciting gameplay in store for that one. I keep an eye on that. The Ninja Gaiden trilogy is coming to the Switch. That's awesome. The Ninja Gaiden trilogy is known for being insanely difficult and kind of the starter to the stealth action genre. I mean, Tenchu was right there as well, but without games like Ninja Gaiden, we wouldn't have games like Assassin's Creed, Soulsborne maybe. Let's see, Plants vs. Zombies was in there, The Legend of Mana, that would be a blast on the Switch. More gameplay from Bravely Default 2. What we did not see that I was personally predicting were ports for the Kingdom Hearts franchise, with Melody of Memories being there, as well as everything getting ported to PC in March. I really thought we were going to see some Kingdom Hearts hit the Switch console, and it would have been really amazing for me, and even more amazing for fans who had never played it. Never played the games. I think they're a really colorful and magical franchise that could be brought to the Nintendo Switch as soon as possible. An expansion pass for Hyrule Warriors was announced. I don't think that surprises anyone. Hyrule Warriors also got one. But that's exciting, certainly. Star Wars Hunter was announced. Hunter? Star Wars Hunter was announced. Very, very little was spoken about this. At first, I thought we were getting a port of Republic Commando, and then they pulled out this new IP on us. Not exactly sure what to think. Not a lot of details were given. So definitely stay tuned for that one. Sounds good. We are never going to get a KOTOR port, are we? Seriously, Nintendo though? Republic Commando, come on, think about it. I could rack my brain trying to think of every other little thing that was packed in there, and I can even remember specific details about games that seem somewhat interesting, but how they are just not holding a candle to the end of the presentation, which of course Nintendo always pulls this on us. A big long direct with the heavy hitters right at the end. So as a surprise to no one at all, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is being brought to the Switch in HD. Again, this is not surprising information. However, this is really somewhat disappointing information considering that on Sunday, a few days from today, on February the 21st of 2021, Zelda's going to be hitting its big 35th anniversary. Everyone knows it. It's the Zelda 35, the Pokemon 25. It's a big year. 2021 is a big year for Nintendo. Skyward Sword? I actually never saw a single Pokeball during the Direct. Did you just forget? Pokemon Snap wasn't even shown. I mean, not even one shred of gameplay? Really? Really? So Skyward Sword is coming to the Switch. Now this is huge. A lot of my friends have never played Skyward Sword, so this gives them an excellent opportunity to try out a great game that also happens to be probably my least favorite Zelda in 3. It's a wonderful game full of very imaginative worlds, excellent mechanics. It really does live up to the Zelda name, soundtrack and all. It isn't my favorite. It's not one I really cared to revisit on the Wii, but I will absolutely revisit on the Switch. Now it's going to come with standard motion controls, just like the Wii version, with the Joy-Cons performing as your sword and your shield. However, they've also integrated handheld gameplay. By using the right thumbstick, you can point in the direction that you're going to swing your sword. And I think that's genius. I'm really excited to try out handheld mode on this. It's a new way to play this game. Maybe that is the final straw that I need to finally realize this Zelda as the true classic that it could potentially be. Alongside that, Joy-Cons were announced. Now, if you would have seen my previously posted video, it doesn't exist because it never saw the light of YouTube due to problems. Alongside the Skyward Sword announcement, we also got news of brand new Joy-Cons resembling the Master Sword and the Hylian Shield coming to the Switch as well. I immediately went to GameStop to pre-order and was politely told, you can't do that. It was just 10 minutes after that. Go look them up, they're pretty sweet. And just then, you thought the Nintendo Direct was over and that it would be winding down. We also received a little disclaimer that Breath of the Wild sequel, while is in development and going smoothly, will not be available this year. We didn't see any gameplay from it. However, we were told that potentially later in the year of 2021, we would receive new information. Let's just hope for the best. 2022 will be a good year. And why, you ask? The final announcement of this Nintendo Direct was definitely my personal highlight. Now, while I love seeing Skyward Sword coming to the Switch, and I love the announcement of brand new Joy-Cons taking on a Zelda theme, they dropped the big one last. The scene enters a derelict desert. The wind blowing. A hooded figure. It is then without any interruption that you discover that is an inkling. That's right, Splatoon 3 is coming in 2022. Now, while that news was so exciting that I began to shake and vibrate furiously and didn't really see much of what happened after that, it does show your character with a companion, a really cute Salmonoid type companion, if you played Splatoon 2, that seems to be following you around in at least the solo campaign. The solo campaign, which by the way takes place in a giant hub world, with skyscrapers kind of sprawling to the sky. It reminded me of the world. It reminded me almost sort of a cityscape. It reminded me sort of a cityscape that you might see in Kingdom Hearts, one that stretches toward the sky. Something from The World Ends With You. But the hub world looks so incredibly sick. The main character was seen holding a bow, like a long bow style weapon, something that we haven't seen before. So from what gameplay is shown, you can kind of see a little more aerial gameplay. Jumps seem to be a little bit higher. It's coming out of the ink as your squid form. It gives you a little more. Not much can be said right now, although there was a decent bit of gameplay, so try to check that out. And to be short and sweet, that's everything I've got for you today. Of course, there's plenty more out there to be seen, so absolutely check out the Direct if you like, and kind of fill in the gaps where I missed. If I missed something huge that you are super stoked for, please drop in the comments. I absolutely have to say that the Joy-Cons in Splatoon 3 are the highlights of this Nintendo Direct. February 17th of. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This has actually been my first video, so lots more to come on the way. But again, thank you so much for being here. Quotes. When do you end videos? You don't have a cool splash screen or outro song. Huh.